Alrighty, y'all. Hello. Now, I'm sure if you've seen my channel at all, you know I'm become a big fan of Euro trucks in general. Of course, Scanias stand out as one of the coolest brands. And, you know, I don't have the pleasure of seeing these in the U.S., right? We don't have these on our highways. But I've seen a lot of their conventional products that you would see quite often in other countries. But today we're going to be taking a look at some, I don't know, sort of different, weird, peculiar, and lesser known vehicles from Scania, and then maybe some bonus ones from really any other company. Let's take a look at some weird trucks from Europe. Okay, now this first one is a Scania product. Never heard of it till right now. So I'm looking all throughout the web. This is from France. So if we look at the info here, yeah, it's from Scania. It's some sort of commercial 4x4 chassis. And of course, it's been modified for, you know, military use, right? And it's actually part of the, I guess, French military. So I don't know if, you know, maybe you guys can fill me in on proper names or whatever for some of these, but this is a Scania. And there's some different angles of it. So if we go here, so you get a full view. Yeah, this thing's weird. Not exactly what you think of when you think of Scania, although what this thing lacks in, you know, beauty or cool factor, it probably makes up for in capability and utility. I mean, it's still got a rugged chassis, huge wheels and tires. I'm sure this thing is quite capable. And yeah, you can kick some butt with this thing as well. So it's just kind of interesting, right? I had no idea Scania made something quite like this. It is such a peculiar design because it's like it looks like basically a huge chassis, but with like the smallest body possible. So it's really bizarre. It's like, it almost appears like a kind of a regular pickup truck on steroids, if that makes sense. You know, they have the engine just tucked into this very small front end. And of course, you have the cab and, like, you know, I guess a utility area in the back. I don't know. It's a bizarre one. Have you ever heard of this one? Let me know. All right. Now, this one was found near an old gas station, or a fuel station, rather. This one was abandoned. Take a look at this thing. It does indeed have the Scania badge right there. Pretty cool to see. It's also one of, like, it's kind of a different model than I usually see, clearly because it's old. But yeah, get a look at that. Still like a cool, it makes for a cool picture. The thing is still, I don't know, somehow Scania's retained some sort of cool factor and unique factor, right? This thing has had a hell of a life, I'm sure, and it's literally abandoned. But it's still sitting, kind of looking strong. Scania P360 with a penetrating Scorpion Stinger that can penetrate a building to deliver water directly into a fire without putting firefighters in danger. Now that is absolutely fascinating. Wow. I've never heard of such contraption in my whole life. This is kind of actually genius. Like, think of a scenario, right? You could literally, boom, poke a hole into a building with this and put water right on the fire in a hard-to-reach area. And, of course, in an area where it's just going to be, like, who wants to send firefighters in? If you could prevent it and put a fire out by a machine like this and with tools, and not risk lives, that's a great thing, right? I've never heard of such thing, and it looks good, right? You have a Scania fire truck chassis it's attached to. This is just an awesome picture. The tech, the awesome truck, the cool liveries. This is why I'm into European emergency vehicles and Scanias as well. This is it, man. This is the real shit. Scania's FrostFire show truck, 770 horsepower, V8, of course, side pipes, custom built with aluminum side panels. That is unbelievably sharp. Look at that engine, too. And you have a matching diecast to go along with it. That is wicked looking in the rear package here. Wow. Okay, I like this thing a lot. Yeah. Yes, please. Right here. I'm sold. That is a cool truck. The color scheme, the graphics, right? The wheels, everything about it. The exhaust, too, the way that exhausts are, those side pipes. Oh, my goodness. What a satisfying truck. Damn, you know, some things just look so good. You don't even know exactly why. That is an awesome freaking vehicle. That's one of the coolest trucks I've ever seen. Scania is pretty wild. Also, they are light years ahead of anything available in the U.S. Yeah. German here who moved to Canada. One thing I miss when driving here and in the U.S. is the quality and technology of European trucks, and Scania in particular. Currently driving a 2023 Freightliner Cascadia with freaking drum brakes. That's just crazy to me that, you know, trucking's such a big deal here. It's like the truck tech and how our trucks work and how they're built and everything. The lack of power, like, it's crazy how behind we are. It's really weird, actually. Der Vater. Is that Darth Vader? What does that translate to? I don't know. This is a clean looking truck. I'm showing it anyway. Notice how it's the super long wheelbase. Clean as can be red. Like just red everywhere. Hilty. Wow. Great looking combo. Muddy Scania truck. Oh, that thing is red. I had no idea. That thing really was muddy. I thought it was just a little dusty and it was like a gray truck. No. Damn, that is very satisfying. That's going to look great. How did he get it that muddy? Scania's putting in work in all types of environments, clearly. What a shame to get that beauty of a truck that dirty, but nothing a power wash can't fix. Are we right? Wow. Bravo. This is Scania's new fully autonomous dump truck. I just found out about it, and it's fascinating. Now, there's no link provided. Is this real? Perhaps I can Google it, and we'll see what it comes up with, because this post is actually from 4 years ago. Before we even get to that, we have Volvo's autonomous truck, too. Now, remember, I'm a big fan of all these trucks, and Volvo is awesome. Really awesome. And I think they're an really fun kind of, you know, a fun little rivalry, right? Because Volvo makes some great looking stuff, awesome tech, very powerful. Same with Scania. So naturally, they're a good matchup. And they have autonomous tech apparently as well, although this was just an animation. And let's see, this is just a render. So, I mean, do they actually have autonomous trucks? I'm not really sure. Scania S truck modeled and animated in Blender. Rendered cycles. That is literally insane. Oh my God, look at the detail. For those that don't know, Blender is software, 3D software. You can create pretty much anything you want, but it takes lots of time and skill. It's not easy at all. The accuracy and more so the materials, like the details. We have stitching. We have, accurate representation of fabric. The reflections and colors. Everything's how you think it should be. And then you have that. Okay. That's more realistic than real life. Somehow it's like more. This is the most realistic graphics I've ever seen. Here's another weird Scania, 86 Aerobus Scania K112. Get a look at this thing. That looks like some futuristic space capsule or something. Also, the wheel looks like it turns extremely sharp. Look at the angle the front end is facing at. And the wheel is actually literally right of our camera shot, right? Like it appears to be that the front wheels turn extremely sharp. That's what I'm trying to say. At least it looks like that. I don't know what market this was from. I almost want to say it looks like some sort of South American market, according to the description. We have windows everywhere. What an interesting vehicle. But of course, you can see the Scania Scania badge written out here in between the headlights. Whoa, that is kind of cool. It's also huge. Like, imagine how much of a beast this would be to drive. It'd be kind of intimidating. You're so far ahead of the steerable axle here, right? Like, your front wheels are here. You're way ahead of it. For me, that's always been awkward in a couple utility vehicles I've driven, once here and there. When you're in front of the steering axle, it's awkward, but I've never been that far ahead. That would be extremely weird and awkward to drive, I think. Look at this, a Scania P370 4x2 in Taipei, Taiwan. All the way in Taiwan, they're using Scanias. That is pretty impressive. Again, great looking unit. And Scania's reach must be pretty impressive. Just why the hell don't we have them here? We are missing out. A Swedish STRV 122 behind a Scania T144 6x4 on the freeway. That is awesome. Cool Scania truck. I love them in the military green. That is sick setup right there. Damn. Sweden, man. I tell you what, one of the pleasant surprises of this channel, learning about so many different things in so many different places. Sweden, some insanely famous and good music coming out of Sweden, and some just straight up badass machinery. Very interesting place. And another Scania pulling an HKP 10. This is insane, man. Scania's doing work. They're just so... First of all, they're great photo ops, right? Any photo of a Scania in its natural habitat, pulling heavy stuff, is cool. But some of them are just really cool when you get these vehicle combos. Going way back to 1935 for this one, we have a Scania Vabis, or Vabis. 4.5 ton commercial vehicle. Look at that. It is a dump truck. Wow. I've never studied the history of dump trucks, but I'll be honest. 1935, that's going way back. That's almost 100 years ago. It is interesting to see. I wonder how that operated. Right? It looks to be some sort of chains going here. Then, of course, we go even further back. 1923 Scania Vabis half-truck bus. Of course, I'm probably saying some of these words wrong. Please forgive me. That is crazy. We have a bus with a track system driven by tracks and regular, tires up front. Damn, Scania's made some cool stuff. Then we have this thing, whatever this is. Anyone know any info on that? It's like it's a long-nose Scania with like a huge cab. This almost is like more, this reminds me more of like these oversized, really big crew cab American semi-trucks that, of course, you don't really see on the roads. Like, they don't use them for business. I don't know exactly what they're used for, but I don't know. This is like a weird vehicle here, but interesting nonetheless. I didn't even know Scania made something like that. Okay, going to the comments, it actually says the background on this is not a Scania torpedo truck with a crew cab. Rather, it's an 8-seater bus. Even more weird, the trailer can't be removed easily. It's registered as an articulated bus. You might be asking why. Legal shenanigans, of course. When this was built, a regular truck was limited to 70 kilometers per hour, while a bus could go 90 kilometers per hour. So this was built when Sweden and others allowed trucks to go faster. These types of trucks vanished. Geez, what a weird deal is this? You'll have to let me know if you remember anything about this. What a weird limited time kind of loophole vehicle. The Crocodile, an EPA tractor built from a Scania 76. Okay. Didn't expect to see anything like this. How could we forget about, I think I've seen a truck similar to this on TikTok of all places in a previous video. 2005 Scania R999 in red pearl. And of course, the topless version. Not necessarily practical for everyday use for your cargo business, but an eye catcher and a good one for the shows, nonetheless. So crazy. Wood-powered Scania right here. Well, I never knew there was such a thing, and I'll be honest, as someone lifelong, car guy, truck guy, anything with an engine, I do not know at all how this would even work. Sounds intriguing. A bit weird as well. The operating principle is remarkably simple. By burning a barrel of wood or coal until it develops a core temperature between 900 and 1200 degrees Celsius, then restricting the fire's supply of air, gasifiers produce flammable carbon monoxide that can be cooled, filtered, and delivered directly to a normal car. Here's another angle of the autonomous dump truck from Scania. Looks a little more legit here. Talk about cool. This is a special use fire truck where this would be for in the mountains. It's extremely short wheelbase. Look at that. It's like almost like a toy truck, but totally useful. Packed with equipment, capabilities, and a high reaching ladder. It's so weird in the coolest way. I've never seen one that small. I know European fire trucks tend to be on the smaller side compared to some of the massive units we have in the U.S. But this one truly is space-saving. Pretty cool to see, actually. All right, now to end the video, we'll just look at some interesting posts related to this, and then we will close it out. This one is literally named a stick of butter on wheels. The OM70 what is this? Minonzio? I don't know if I'm saying that right. That is hilarious. I have no idea what this is. No, never heard of the company, never heard of the truck, but I do agree. It literally looks like a stick of butter on wheels. This thing has absolutely no aerodynamics at all. And the fact that it's just slapped on top of the chassis, like the wheels aren't even showing properly, right? Everything about this is weird and clunky. I would like to see one in person, though. It's kind of interesting. I just think this would be abysmal to drive. Chinese car haulers are built different. What the hell? Oh my God. And it's just a regular cab over truck. Jesus, it's swaying all over the place. 1, 2, 3. I'm not even going to count all these. How many cars are on this thing? Kudos if you're able to count this. I don't feel like counting it right now, but it looks like a lot. Like 3 dozen cars. Maybe 40 cars. I don't know. What on earth is happening there? The braking capability, I imagine, is non-existent. Not to mention driving this seems like an absolute nightmare, literally. Who did they get to drive this? Evidently, this is starting to trend. Look at this. This is in the U.S. How did they do that? That's awesome. If it's a requirement for vehicles to be roadworthy, then why isn't it a requirement for roads to be vehicle-worthy? You have to tell me if this is true where you're at. This is certainly true in the U.S. These roads, especially around Illinois, be horrible, man. We have high road tax, tolls on the road, on the highways, and basically the highest overall taxes in the nation. Why are the roads so horrible? Where the hell's this money going, man? It doesn't make sense. It's a freaking scam. But God forbid your vehicle isn't, ready for inspection, right? Back into door 10. Okay, there's 10. there's 11. But if you actually look at the doors, there's 9. There's 10. Trucking in America, people. This is what it's like. How frustrating, right? Gotta love that. You want to drop off and relax. This is what you got to deal with. Yeah, I would go into this right here because that is the door and it says 10. And if they have a problem with it, that's on them, right? There it is, door 10. Bro is transporting people, not freight. Is this supposed to be the world's most ridiculous, biggest, and most offensive RV, like recreational vehicle ever, built out of a literal full-on Peterbilt semi-truck, sleeper cab? Like, what is happening here? Long wheelbase and this trailer. It's got to be the U.S. How much money did this cost? And what is this dude's family? Does this dude have a family of 30? Like, what? The real question is this dude allowed at Buc-ee's? Yes. Buc-ee's would have room for him. That's the crazy thing. Those are the biggest fuel stations, famously, in the U.S., found throughout Texas and some other southern states. I'm going to end it there. That was fun. It is the weekend. I hope you're going to have a great one. Those are some interesting Scanias and some other vehicles as well in the trucking world. I love it, as always. Love learning about new stuff. Some interesting trucking / just industrial vehicles I should know about. Please keep letting me know in the comments, emails, wherever you can find me. I do appreciate it. I appreciate you watching as well. It's going to do it for this one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.